Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Capoletto. I live at 1322 Belvin in the Historic District. I haven't heard anybody interestingly talk about the headwaters. It's almost like we have headwaters amnesia. Another establishment that wanted to sell hard liquor downtown was denied, and they were actually local people from our community who put together a business plan. They worked very hard on that. And this body denied that. And I would ask y'all tonight to follow that precedent of this body and deny this CUP. Because you know what's going to happen? It's going to be the domino effect for the historic district. They're going to say, you've heard that time and time again tonight, now haven't you? You've heard, well, Zelix is here, so we should have this. But you know what? They didn't tell you about the headwaters being denied. And they didn't tell you about the music situations that occurred with Tantra. And now they don't do that. And the folks that showed up tonight that weren't here for the public hearing that was scheduled right before the holidays, they didn't hear the story about the man that got pistol whipped as a result of getting drunk on hard liquor at the Zelix. So yes, while you may be very good business people, we applaud your hard work in our community, what you've done. You cannot control the behavior of your customers. More importantly, we have a bed and breakfast next door. We have a sorority house. Interestingly, I've only heard from like one or two of y'all, but some of those ladies were actually against this last time. Then we've got 2 schools. We have a church. We have renters, and then we have the historical district, and we have a drug and alcohol rehabilitation program. All of this is coming to light because this thing has just been rushed through so quickly. Now, state law says that the threshold is 100 children. You can't have a liquor booze joint. There are 115 kids that go to the First Methodist Church, but for some reason under state law, because they're preschoolers, they don't matter. If they were pre-K kids, that state law would have put a clamp down and this CUP would have been spot on denied. But because these are littler kids, they're little preschoolers, and they're pre-K kids, they're not getting the same rights as the kindergartners. There's also another 36 kids at the Montessori, so that's well over the threshold of 100 people, y'all, by state law. Additionally, the Montessori school is 270 feet away. The state threshold is 300. And then the church, according to my sit-down today with city staff, and I appreciate y'all's time, is 480 feet. Right now, Gumbys does not currently have a permit to sell hard liquor. They had a BYOB situation. It's situated over there by the renters of the university. You cannot compare apples to oranges. There is no track record of this business establishment in terms of selling hard liquor near a residential neighborhood. You guys talked about community. Well, you're actually fostering using technicalities to get your CUP through. And it's unfortunate that this applicant has refused to adjust the hours that the residents have asked. Thank you for your time, and God bless San Marcos.
Okay. I'm going to close our citizen comment period. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition?
Hi, y'all. I'm Lisa Marie Capoletto, 1322 Belvin. I guess my only question is, I see tree mitigation, which always wants to make me gag, because what it means is that we're killing heritage trees, and then we're going to plant some baby ones. So I'm trying to get a snapshot of that. I know I live near Hopkins, and so I saw something about elevation. I just hope that there's been some sort of flood analysis that won't impact other neighbors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak against the watershed protection plan?
My name is Ollie Giles, and I live in this neighborhood. I live on Valley Street. I know y'all know that already. And the floodplain, yes, we were all there in the flood. And they came down and they built a dam because we were in the floodplain. A lot of us had to move out. And they built a dam. And when the dam was built, they took that floodplain off, and that's the reason you were able to start selling that property on Valley Street again. And the city had the homes built, and people moved back in there. And that part there where Tuttle's built, houses were back there. But after the flood, they let Tuttle's put that other. But all along Valley Street, we're out of the floodplain. The dams are built back up there. And you can go look at the dams. You can look at the records. And here I've got old documents showing about the dams and everything. Well, I've got documents on all. Dunbar is doing great. And I'm still on Valley Street. And some they said they were going to have to, I was going to have to move. No, I'm not moving. And now I know I'm out of the floodplain. And I live right down, I can look down the tunnels and look at the backyard, stand in my front yard, look right there. No, we're not in no floodplain anymore. And we've been living there a number of years, and I've got documents to prove everything that about that property, everything about Tuttles, and I've just got all the history. Even when they built the dams up there, I've got all of that.
That's what she's right. My name's Lisa Marie Coppola, 1322 Belvin. Actually, Mr. Garber, this is the mechanism for item consent number 5, and I strongly oppose this. I would like for you to table this because all the data wasn't in which tends to be the in vogue workflow for this department, until what, yesterday? Is that what you guys said? You said you just, like the last part of that slide, it said you just got some information yesterday. How is the public supposed to go through all this? This is going to be another Woods. The engineering department has very low credibility with me because you're tinkering with all aspects of the ecosystem here in our community. So what your little HEB project, little pet project you guys all voted for, that impacts my hood, and that's all Purgatory Creek, right? And now you're going to start tinkering over there. I would encourage the members of this dais to drive around after the next flood and look at what happens between Dunbar and Victory Gardens. Exactly. And so this is another example of gentrification, right, like the Woods, and building a berm, a flood, another place now for the water not to go, but into Miss Giles's house. And I'm sorry. The point of the matter is the official finalized FEMA flood maps will not be available until summer. Mr. Miller gave us his word when all this started, when everybody was flooded out, that we were going to make flooding a top priority. And all I've seen is one development after another hit the dais, whether it's the HEB or this, that is positioned near residential neighborhoods, tinkering with the elevation, in close proximity to Purgatory Creek, which your daughter actually calls Purgatory Hell. And Brenda, that's what she calls it. And you're tinkering with the flood, the way the stuff goes. You guys have no credibility with me, because I remember when y'all said that the Woods wasn't going to flood. I'm the one that cut the video and made it viral, and Al Jazeera picked it up. And Richard Reynosa unequivocally said it wouldn't flood. Your city staff said it wasn't going to flood. The engineer said it wasn't going to flood, and it flooded. So I don't know. I just have very little faith in your science. Thank you.
Stand in my front door and look right at Purgatory now.
Okay,